Hello my dear exceptional students, hope you all are well. In this lecture we will discuss about the introduction to entity relationship diagram, but here the question is why ERD is so important, and also similar question is why we use predefined standard for database system designing. Standards are used for describing the design process on some predefined rules. If there is no standard available for designing a specific system, then everyone will have to use its own way, and a way used by one designer may not be understandable to the other one. For example, I am a database administrator and I draw an icon for the table which is my own choice. Here the problem is another developer may not understand it. This misunderstanding can be more extreme if both the designers are working for the development of the same system. We will be using information engineering standard throughout the course. They are exceptional. We know that tools can also help the designer and the user to mutually agree on a specific design. Peter Chen developed ERDs in 1976 and introduces standard to design database ERD model. An entity relationship model (ERM) is a conceptual way of showing data relationships in software development. ERM is a database modeling technique that generates a diagram or visual representation of a system. We also know that conceptual database is our first comprehensive design. And very important point is we will have to transform the conceptual database design into physical database design from ER data model to particular database system. The ER data model supports following major constructs. The entity attribute relationship. Entity is a basic building block of the ER data model. The term entity is used in three different meanings or for three different terms, and that are entity type, entity instance, entity set. These three are major parts of ERD. We will discuss these three constructs one by one in detail. In simple words, we can say that entity is an object that produces some attribute or features about itself. After understanding these three terms of entity, your confusion will be clear about it. Entity type. Anything that receives or generates data from or to the system is an entity. Entity type is transformed into a table in any database management system. They are singular nouns like a customer, student, or teacher. Entity type is name assigned to a collection of properties of different things existing in an environment. Entity instance. Each entity instance has specific values against the properties with the entity type to which it belongs. For example, a student generates data, his, her name, registration number, blood group, and so on, and student result receives data in the form of marks. Both are entities. They are exceptional. It is very important and also simple point. Generally, the entity type and their properties are established by nature. For example, a computer is an electronic device. For example, in the given table, we have identified that entity type student has name, father name, registration number. Now an instance of this entity type will have values against each of these properties. Entity set. A set of a group of entity instances of a particular entity type is called an entity set.